Today I'm going to show Christian exactly how email marketing works using the flowchart that we've used to bring our clients over $250,000 in email and SMS marketing. We're going to go over how to actually grow an email list, what type of emails build brand while also bringing the most revenue, what flows are actually important for new accounts, and the email strategy that we use every month when planning our clients' email marketing out, all while using real examples and case studies of brands we worked with in the past. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so with email marketing, there's three main parts, right? So you have campaigns, you have your list, and your flows. Now, the only two ways you make money is campaigns and your flows, right? So with campaigns, it's like, as I mentioned, like one email that you send out that just blasts it out to everybody. Now you could choose who you want to send it out to, but it's just email that you send out once. You can do follow-ups now, but that's not one. Next up, you have flows, which is a sequence of emails that get sent out to people based on a specific action they done, like the card abandonment thing I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So like if I go to your website and you check out and you're subscribed to my emails, like email marketing, you're gonna be entered into that flow. Right. Now, the glue that holds it together is the list. Now, what the list is pretty much it's everybody that you have in your email marketing that you pretty much just send them about.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna break down first the campaign just to make it easier, and then people can like understand. So, with our clients, we do three main things, right? You have your email topics, which 80% of the content that you're gonna send out is value tainted. Like, and I'll show you examples, but it was pretty much stuff that you just create. By the way, FYI, shout out. No, but it's just value tainting, right? You're giving value to the customer instead of just trying that blasting with campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
80% of that's VT content. The other one's 50% sale and promos, and then 5% is the VIP. So you're gonna send 3-4 emails a week, and then this is what it looks like. So the first thing is, I'll break it down for you, is once a month VIP exclusive offers. Now, what we do this for is pretty much for people that are engaging with the email a lot. So either they purchased a lot of times, they place an order, they're opening the email. People are very engaged. Once a month, we're going to send them an exclusive action. Because think about people that are buying more than anybody else, you're going to buy more than anybody else.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So with VIP, you're going to send once a month, right? That's about 5% of the time. And then you don't always have to make it a discount. In this case, 15% off. You give them, just a welcome to VIP. And then we'll also talk about a little flow. And then just, hey, this is what's coming. You're in the VIP. You're getting this, and that. Now that being said, with with a VIP flow, it doesn't always have to be a discount. You could do a discount. You could do early access. You can give them heads up before anything's come. You give them a last chance. So like if the sales is already over, nobody could get it. You get the last one.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. Next up, you have 2 to 3 times you want to send a promotion, an urgency one. That's what we're doing with like everybody. But pretty much this is just an actual thing that spices up the emails, right? So it's like, okay, once a month, I'm actually going to get some type of discount, whether it be in this case percentage off, free gift, free shipping, dollar off, or like a buy something get one free.
And this is once a month?
Yeah.
A discount? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that being said, you do this, and then the 2 to 3 times a month. It's not you're not doing 2 to 3 emails that are just sales a month. You're not sending 2 or 3 sales. It's just one sale with 2 other emails supporting it. So for example, like for Mother's Day that just passed, we could have said like, okay, 2 weeks before Mother's Day, you have the Mother's Day email, which is like, okay, get 15% off whatever. But there's gonna be 2 emails before and after, or 2 emails one and one. So before it could be like you're gonna send it out to people saying, hey, you're in the top 10% of people who've engaged with their emails. Before we send out the actual Mother's Day email, we might run out of stock. Here's your chance to buy it. You don't even have to give a discount now.
Okay. Yeah.
After that, you get like a last chance. You're like, hey, officially our emails were done, like, on the 24th or whatever Mother's Day is. And then a day after, hey, just want to give you one very last chance to buy the products. Right?
And they won't get annoyed after, like, customers won't get annoyed just saying, like, last. Wow.
Then you're gonna do 10 times a month, value tainment and entertainment. This is where the 80% of it. So pretty much, remember what I was telling you about? Like I was putting up together the mirror board originally. These are the main ones that we've been using. So I'll quickly walk you through them. You got us versus them. We're talking about something specific that your company has that a lot of brands don't. Like for points, it was better sugar, no sugar, added sugar. It was like low cal, all these different things. Then that's in us versus them. Then you have an about the founder email, which is just telling the story. Remember Zenjoy? We did the podcast. All that is just an email saying, "Hey, this is what Zenjoy is. This is what the company is. This is what we represent. All the things." Next up is a newsletter. Now this is the one I personally like. So it's literally just a newsletter that talks about the week. So if like if Maladi got him like, I don't know, Good Morning America, if Great Balls of Flour ended up selling like 10,000 pizza dough balls, anything interesting that happened to the brand, you're going to let them know in that email. So just something interesting to spice it up. And then also you could just do like a fun fact. If you want to add some type of discount, it's not necessary, but you want to just once a week spice it up. This one you don't do every week, maybe 2 to 3 times a month, but it's just whenever the schedule off. Brand updates, it's just pretty much mud dust. In this case, it's like, hey, we hit just 1,000 customers. Now you can do, how many customers you hit. As I mentioned, you went in a big TV show. We just hit like, 1,000 followers on Instagram, whatever the case is, but it's just letting them know about a brand update. Next is a mix and match. With this one's pretty self-explanatory. It's like if the company has like for Great Balls of Flour, if they're for some reason or another going to start selling ovens, as an example, okay, this is a perfect match. Pizza with ovens, right? If for points, it could be a crunch with low calorie diet. Once before your pre-workout or your workout, so it's like pre-workout, and then the low sugar ones like after, so you don't have a crash, right?
Mm.
And then for this one, they had they sold two things, like a dry brush and then a nourishment like a clay type of thing. So they combine it together. So that's the mix and match. You're just mixing two things. It doesn't even have to be about the product. Like if you did on like makeup, you could do like going out to the club with like a makeup type of thing. So you have like a makeup, and then you think this is the perfect one if you're going to the club. This is perfect for family reunions. Mix and match.
Yeah.
Next up is a how-to. For this one, we just did like three easy steps. This one's pretty easy, especially if you have like a big brand that has like it's very complicated, you need a lot of trust, or if it's just a brand that has a lot of steps. How to, right? Number one step, okay, in this one we need choose clean and breathable diapers. The second one, wipe gently, and the third one, change often, let the skin breathe. Now, the main thing with this one is you want to make each step something specific to the product without even telling them. So, for example, for little toes, we were saying like, okay, you need breathable diapers, right? Okay, you need that. Okay, if I'm a mom, I'm thinking, okay, well, I need to wipe gently with non-toxic ingredients. Okay, what diaper has non-toxic ingredients? And the last one's like, let the skin breathe. So, what's the diaper that has you had all these things, all these three things, and just shop now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next one is a gift guide. With this one's pretty much like saying, hey, especially works about like like big holidays if you're gonna get something for somebody else. It's just saying gift guides, and you could do a Father's Day gift guide, Mother's Day gift guide, and just telling them what are the best items that we sell for that specific person. So in this case, we had like a bunch of different wines, a bunch of different collections. Then you have a what's inside. This one performs really well, especially this type of template. If the brand has a product that has maybe like it's like an essentials box, if it has a bunch of things inside of it, if it's like a skincare product where it's like a bundle, if you want to tell what's inside because people want to see it, number one and number two, it shows what the actual product is. So they're like, okay, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this. So it's just what's inside of the box, and then also you could do what's inside of the actual product. So, for example, if you're selling like an energy drink, you could say how much caffeine it has, how much sugar it has, if it's low diet, whatever it is, but you actually show the ingredients inside.
Yeah. Okay.
This one, no, sorry about that.
What's this, bro? Guys will be so disappointed.
Oh, we're Gucci today.
It's ruined. Oh, let him cook, let him cook.
So with guys, you're gonna do a science-based one, right? So this one's really easy if you have like some type of product that has like a lot of maybe not chemicals, but just it has a lot of science behind it. So like makeup maybe. If you have like some type of crazy product that's like really low cal or something like that, you could talk about it. But it's just telling the science behind it. So for them, we were saying like a perfect example. It's like, hey, remember when the color wheel from art class, complementary colors like green and red sit opposite of each other and neutralize when combined. So like for them, they have like the perfect like the green stick. So we say, hey, how was the green stick made? Well, it's made of these two colors, and then just showing an email, right? But that's a science-based email. The other one's a testimonial email. This one works quite well if you have like a product that, especially if people don't trust a brand, if they sell maybe something that's like more personal to them, maybe something for women or something for men, like makeup or something. You want to, perfect example, you want to show like people actually reviewing it, right? So it's like, okay, I use this to make my confident, more my skin more confident. I use this for this reason. I use it for this reason. But it's a testimonials email. Then you have a brain teaser, which is just this one's an easy one. It's not gonna make crazy sales, but it's just to keep the list engaged, just like a nice little brain teaser. Especially if you have to do something with like keeping your mind up and like up to check.
Yeah, I like these.
But yeah, then you have a holiday based one, and that's just pretty much matching a holiday. For this one was the Olympics. So with the Olympics one, we match different coffee. It's like, okay, pick your favorite coffee, and then they pick each different. But you style it as in the Olympics. Next week you have recipes email, right? Non-alcoholic detox recipes, and then you have just different types of recipes you use it. Recipes email is pretty simple, and then a stats-based email it just talks about maybe in this case how many XMIs you shipped out, how much money you save your customers, how many reviews you have. It's pretty simple, but it's just talk about stats about the company. And then this one's like my favorite one. It performs really well. It's just a text convo. Just make like a random conversation that's kind of funny. And then you just link it to the shop now button. But this one's really really short. But these are the main ones we do every month. Obviously, not all of them are going to be like that, but most of them are.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then one last thing is like the secret sauce to everything. You want to guess what it is?
Secret sauce. Dang. I mean, like, what is it about technically? Like, what's
It's each one of these different things.
come on?
VIP, valuetainment, or just a promo. If you do it in this format, it crushes. Oh, what's it called? What's it called?
Text base.
Yeah.
Yeah, secret sauce.
So text-based
Text-based,
emails,
yeah.
we have 3 examples, but like basically, for valuetainment, it's really really easy. Text-based emails are super easy, especially just the fact that people don't get them. So like if you're sending like all these emails out every single month, the moment they see one of these emails, they're gonna be like, oh shoot, the person's actually writing it, right? So in this case, we did it for Lauren and Melody. Hey Alexander, it's Lauren from Melody Drinks, and we give them 3 things to do to have like a more healthy lifestyle, healthy choice,
Mhm.
right? That's for valuetainment. You're not even you have the shop now button if they want to keep it, but it's just giving them value. 3 different ways people get value from it, right? A VIP list, right? Perfect example of it. Just 3 things are Halloween sales tomorrow. We're unfortunately not fully stocked. We're in the top 10% of people who've engaged with their emails.
Mm.
So you're letting them know, hey, before the sale is actually out already, we want to let you know that want to give you early access before we might run out. We might run out of your favorite flavor or just in general, right?
Okay.
So that's the VIP. And the last one is the promo, right? And it's actually just, hey, our team kind of messed up Mother's Day. Our site manager forgot to turn off Mother's Day promo code, and you actually give them the discount just like that, right? And then from that way, it just comes out a lot more personal. People really mess with it because we're like, okay, this is actually coming from the founder.
Yeah.
So
I used to. Yeah.
so that's from the campaigns. And then next thing we do for the clients is just a monthly campaign calendar. I do it for Legendary because like whatever. But for this one, you just want to mix it up. So this is what it actually looks like in practice, right? 80% of the time, you're going to do VT content, which are the blue ones. Then about 25% of the time, you're going to do a promo, which is these 3 emails, and then a VIP one for people that are just on the VIP list. So for example, we did a weekly newsletter, Saturday and Sunday, right, to end it off. Summer bestsellers. This does really, really well, especially if it's a new brand. It's just like you could do summer bestsellers, winter bestsellers, fall bestsellers, a bestseller email if you do it very, very short, it just crushes. And then us versus them, Father's Day gift guides. We have a mix and match. And then the main thing with when building the calendar, you kind of want to have an overall thing with it. So for example, I think in June I made this specifically for Father's Day. All the emails are one way or another connected to Father's Day, right? So outside of just the summer bestseller, you want to have us versus them. Okay, before I actually give the promotion, I'm gonna start hyping it up. Okay, why is their product good? Right. So that one Father's Day comes, you're like, okay, well, I remember this brand. They were, well, low calorie, they were cheaper, they had the best ingredients. Okay, now I have more context to make a decision. I think I'm gonna buy.
Mm.
Right? Father's Day gift guides, right? It's showing them, okay, you know what? Some of the gift guides for my dad, I might buy this, I might buy that. Right? Mix and match for Father's Day. So all these emails are dedicated towards the overall thing, which is Father's Day, and then we have
Yeah. Okay.
and then one quick thing is the 27th is going to be pretty much the end of the second quarter, so you could do a brand update, right? This is the second quarter of the month, or the year. We've hit X amount of numbers. We got in this many more stores. We hinted this many more retailers, but it just says like, hey, this is the overall brand update. This is what we accomplished.
Okay.
Okay. Once a week, send SMS campaigns, right? I just choose one text. We're not sponsored by them or anything. I don't even think when they're. I think they are in the for a partner, but whatever. I just like one text. It's really really cool. All they pretty much do is like instead of having to buy it on the website, you could buy it on the text message. So remember I was telling you like I showed you an example like for points for example. It's like okay, instead of saying hey we just launched a new flavor, crunch or whatever, you could buy, shop now, and they have to go to the website, and then from the website they have to go to the landing page, and landing page you have to go checkout, cart, all these different things.
Yeah.
You just, hey, do you want to buy our crunch new flavor? Type A, boom, and then you just buy from that.
That's crazy.
All right, cool. Next SMS topics and examples, right? So here's a few examples of what they look like. Generally speaking, I'll preface it like this: for brands that are if it's a brand that has a lot of funding and right now they're just trying to get revenue, it's going to be a little different because in their eyes the main goal is just to get as many sales and to get awareness. For a brand that's more like a startup thing and they want to get profit because they have to, these are pretty good, just good rules of thumb. So number one, less than 160 characters. If you go above that, it just makes the price just spike up, right? Next one is a promotion, sale, or event. You don't want to make it like valuetainment. I made the mistake when I was making the point like back when I first did SMS. I did only value teaming content. So all the text, the SMS, messages that I sent out were just about like, it's just like about Spice Girls. I made a joke about that with like I made a little rhyme to make like match with the M&Ms or whatever other points. I made it about like what's your favorite flavor this each one represents. I added gifts. It was kind of stupid. Like
Yeah.
people don't care about it. Like if you're getting us something personal to your SMS, like it's just they want something. You have to have a valid reason.
Yeah, they just want
Um,
it like
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's either a promotion, sale, or an event, something actually exciting, straight to the point. So instead of fluffing it up with like a bunch of different grammar, it's just, hey, here's a sale, 20% off, buy now. Or just type A if you want, right? Straight to the point. And then usually no emojis or images. Again, this goes back to what phase the company is in. If they're just trying to get revenue, sure, do it. It probably is going to help with conversions because they're seeing the product, but it just makes the price go berserk. Like it just like 3 or 4x more. So here are examples of like the ones that I really like. So this one's Point Chocolate. You've unlocked early access. Straight to the point. Memorial Weekend, 25% off all Points chocolates. Use code XYZ before it melts. Straight to the point. They kept it short. For the
And
emojis,
what's the URL link for?
to the website.
Oh, this
Uh,
wasn't one text?
yeah, yeah. They didn't do the A. I don't know why, but I still like it. So you have the and then two emojis. Again, it just depends for them. They're probably just trying to grow. So like it's whatever. Next two, I like these a lot. Again, for context, this is for Prime and for David. David's like a new brand that just came out, so
Yeah.
they're trying to get a lot of money. And then with Rapid, obviously you get Prime, so like they have a lot of funding. They're okay spending a bit of money. It's speculation, obviously. But this one's a little long. The only thing I would change it, I was make a bit shorter. But overall, it's pretty good text SMS just message. It's just the image, what it is, for what the use is, and then drink Prime. I like this one. It's a little long. That's the only thing I changed. But overall, it's straight to the point.
Okay.
This one I really, really liked. I remember getting. I'm like, that's fuego. So David, excellence now in Red Velvet, straight to the point. It's not even no fluff or anything. The three main USPs.
I don't read about.
Fuego.
This was
20 grams of protein, 150 calories, zero sugar, grams of sugar.
some
Straight to the
macros right
thing.
there.
Shop her new flavor.
Yeah.
That's a right. So like it's just straight to the point.
And the
there's no-
pictures doesn't like kind of ruin it, or what do you?
I mean, it probably ads because
Okay.
like people see it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't have any data of like whether it converts better or not because I just don't use it much. I mean, I know the price is just not worth it at times, but
Oh yeah. Good too. Okay.
no bueno is the opposite of that. The only reason I put him is like not really good. I think the emoji kind of unnecessary for this brand. Like I don't think we're gonna need it. And probably make the price a lot higher. And then on top of that, it's a little bit fluffed up. Almost sold out Black Friday 6 and at midnight, 30% off flat wide. If I would have changed it, I would have been like Black Friday sale. Black Friday sales ends in 12 hours or whenever the SMS was sent out because it just sends out to people
Urgency.
automatically. Yeah. Black Friday sale ends tonight in 12 hours. Shop 30% off. Shop now. And then on top of that, they probably could have a little bit more room to add the emojis because the way it works is you have the text, but what the emojis does is it adds like instead of being one character, it adds like as five. So
Wow.
when people like add a bunch of emojis, it just gets it higher and higher and higher. So the moment you go above 160 characters, it doubles the price.
Oh, like in the software.
Yeah, it
Oh
just doubles
wow.
it. Right. That's what playbook. It's different from brand to brand, but that's
Yeah.
so that's what the campaigns are. Any questions on the campaign?
No, no, it makes sense. I mean, like, I was just curious for the calendar. I mean, like, why, like, if it wasn't like a Father's Day, like, why would he organize it in that type of way? Like, just why would he do it like Monday, Tuesday? Does that even matter?
No, oh, so like 3 to 4 times a week. So that's
Okay.
a good question. So pretty much what we found out is like every other day is a really good number. If you go
Every
above
other day?
that, yeah. If you
Okay.
send them an email every other day, if you go above that, it does piss people off.
Hmm.
We found out pretty quickly. But we adjusted and it's just like at this point, 3 or 4 times is good enough.
Mhm.
What I like to do right before the sale is like I like to give a little bit of space. So for example, this one was done like on the 3rd, and then we didn't send another email out to everybody on the 6th. We did it the VIP list, right? But that's just like a VIP reminder. But we hadn't sent an email like 2 days, right? So it gives a little bit of breathing room. And then yeah, after a little bit of breathing room too, it was like 3, 4 days since we sent out an email. So you want to give a little bit of a gap so people don't get annoyed and
Yeah.
unsubscribe.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Cool. Next, you have your list. So this is how people or companies pretty much get the most subscribers in the first place. So first up, you want to build your list. This is how it works. I'll zoom in here. Okay, so first things first, people need to know about the brand. So whether they're doing through Instagram, through Google Ads, Facebook, it doesn't matter. They need to get to the website some way, somehow. Organically, it doesn't matter. You're getting people to visit the site. So let's say I run a bunch of Facebook ads. All right? I'll make it even easier. I make a social media post and it goes viral, TikTok, whatever. People want to go to the site.
Mhm.
So now I'm getting, let's say, 10,000 people that are interested in the brand and they go to the website. Now on the website, that's the second step. You want to get them there. But on the website, they're going to get something called a pop form, which you know a little bit about.
Yeah.
But then this is pretty much asking them for the information. So it's like, hey, in this case for Legendary, they have one. I like it. It's pretty good.
Yes.
Legendary, let's go. Enter your email address for 10% off your first order. And you're giving them some type of incentive. Right. But this is the pretty much how you get your most of your email subscribers. There's other ways like you can make an actual page just dedicated toward getting people subscribed. You have a little link at the very bottom of the email. It's called an embed, and then people can subscribe there. But like
Yeah.
1 to 2% of people do it, and nobody does it. So the best way to do it is with the pop.
Quick,
No,
quick question. Like, does the discount even matter? Like, what if you just don't have a discount?
it's not gonna convert.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, like unless it there I've seen brands that like so there was one brand I saw that had like a bunch of like all the brand is that they do discounts.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like the whole brand like they sell like random stuff, but it's just about discounts.
Oh, like cheap.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But
and it works for them, right? So like if I get another 20% off, it could work. I'm sure they probably tested it, but from what I've seen, like it just worked really well, and all it was is just get exclusive access.
Mm.
And the person's mind, they're like, okay, well, I'm getting 20% off regardless, so why am I going to sign on my email? But if they say, what's more valuable, 20% off when everything they're saying is 20% off, or exclusive access? Well, exclusive access because I'm going to get 20% off either way.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what the pop form is. Usually 10% is a good number. If you want to go a little bit more, you go 15, 20%. After 20%, I haven't found there's been much of a difference.
Mm.
But you could do free shipping, you could do exclusive access, but just to be safe, probably just a percentage off. I will say this, if you have a big, like let's just say you sell a product for like $1,000, 10% off seems less enticing than $100 off.
Mm.
Right? Because if you see get 10% off or get $100 off, it's the same thing. But $100 seems more
When it's like when it's more expensive.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what it is, and then that's how you build a profiles. So that's how the whole system.
That's the list. Profiles.
Yeah, this one. Where's one of the brands? So that's how you get two. All right. Next, the way you get them is you want to have a good pop-up form. Now, there's a few ways you can do it. The main two are on Klaviyo itself, or whatever your email service provider is. If you use Mailchimp, Klaviyo, doesn't matter. You can do it on there. Or you could get a third party software. Now I like Alia just because we work with them and it's like a really good brand. It's just they make color pop forms. But
Yeah.
regardless, that's how you do it. Now this is an example of what it looks like. So the first steps first, it appears anywhere from it depends brand to brand. I like it 7 to 10 seconds after somebody opts in the site. One thing I will mention, I don't suggest doing it on the landing page. So let's just say somebody comes fresh from a Facebook ad, and from the Facebook ad, they're on the landing page or whatever. If your pop-up form is going to be on the landing page 3 to 5 seconds, even 10 seconds after somebody goes on the website, they want to buy, right? They're not even interested in the brand. Like they're just they're people. They're literally ad people, right? People from they're leads. I don't say leads, but they're traffic, right? So when we tried to go with another company like a few months ago, we were living in Florida, but pretty much when we added the pop form, it just tanked the conversion rate. So I don't suggest for brands you can try it out, but I don't suggest having it on like a fresh ad, like on a landing page.
Yeah, but how would you know? Like, how would you know? Like, oh, like people won't. The people from the traffic of the ads won't get the pop-up form. But like, what if it's like other people coming to the website, but aren't ready to buy? If you know what I mean. Oh, like you can actually segment that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so you could do it like anybody that enters a site just organically. Anybody.
That's crazy.
The best way to do it is just if the company has a specific landing page dedicated towards Facebook ads, for example, you could just exclude that, and then people that just come to the website. Because think about it too, like if
that's cool.
If I get a Facebook ad and I go on there, like, okay, that's a cool brand, I'm not gonna buy. Maybe because of retargeting or maybe just or I'm SEO, whatever. I come back to the website organically. Now I'm familiar with the brand because I got an understanding of it, and now I go to the website by finding it. From that point, I'm gonna have the pop form 7 to 10 seconds after because the person's naturally come to the website.
Yeah. Okay. So it makes sense. Yeah, I had a quick question because I've been seeing these a lot more just from like qualifying, but like, does it really matter if they give you a bunch of questions or is that just fluff? Like, does that matter? Because you like right there, it's just like, like, why are you choosing this? Would it help you with this? This?
Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it matters. Like, I could be totally off, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the main thing, the main reason people do want to do this is because they have more information on the customer, and it's a little bit, in my eyes, the psychology aspect. It's a game, so you're more likely to play a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember when I first got like these type of pop forms, like probably like a year ago. Like I was like, that's polite. So I was just doing. But yeah, I mean, you get more information on the customer. So, for example, like in the welcome form, like, okay, they're asking how spicy do you want your sauce? Fire, hot, medium, mild, sweet. If I put
Mm-hmm.
mild, maybe the first email is gonna be, okay, I'm gonna make sure that it's a mild sauce under the ammonia.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, okay.
how about
That's
that?
yeah,
But
makes
20%
sense.
off, you want to get it? Yes. Boom. Next thing that you're gonna get is unlock 20% off. Another psychological aspect.
Oh,
There,
fly by Gene.
yeah.
Yeah.
But pretty much if they enter the first email or they enter the first the pop form, they're already like, well, I already committed to the first step. Might as well go to the second because they're
Mm,
already in,
yeah,
right?
yeah, makes
So
sense.
from this point, unlock 20% off, and then when's your birthday optional? It really is optional. If you yeah,
I never liked those. I mean, does that even matter? Is that
you could do a birthday flow. So
a
like
birthday?
your birthday,
Oh,
like you could send out an automatic email.
uh,
It doesn't drive that much revenue. I don't like doing it. Like I don't really care for it. I just like keep it minimal.
yeah, okay.
But yeah, you could do it if you want.
Yeah, it was annoying me.
But yeah, honestly, I would just have your email address. You're making it as easy as possible for people to enter their information.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. The good thing about it
Mm.
is you already capture their email address. So if they enter it, you already have it. So if they opt out, it's fine or whatever. But they still have your email. So if they don't enter the
You
SMS,
have their email.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. But wait, there's more, and then you put the SMS. This is really optional. I suggest doing it because eventually you are gonna start building your SMS list, even if you're
Yeah.
smaller. But
And if
it,
they did the second one, they're probably gonna. If they did one, two, three,
yeah.
most likely gonna do three, right? Okay. Another one?
I just like then this isn't just like you actually got it.
Oh, okay, okay. I
It's
was about
like
to
a yeah, it's
say,
like
I
a
was like,
congrats, yeah.
okay,
Oh, that's right.
that's a lot.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. And then one thing we like to do is just if you notice, each pop form is the same design.
Oh wow, I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's just congruency, but like that's it.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
So that's pretty much pop form. So that's the steps. This one's optional again, the SMS one, but I suggest on it. Next, deliverability. I'll show what these lines are in a second, but there's mainly three steps to the deliverability, especially for a new brand. If you're a brand new brand and you're just getting started, configure Klaviyo properly. We worked with like a few different brands that are just starting out, and like when we set it up, like I've done it without doing it, like without getting the SPF cam, about cold email, like you gotta
Yeah.
set that up. It ain't like it does not like it's horrible for like
Yeah.
in the eyes of Google, you notice it's just gonna look like spam.
Yeah.
It's not configured. Um,
Configure. Very important.
but you want to make sure you set it up properly. For brands, people watching at home, all you gotta do is just go through these steps. It takes like 10 to 20 minutes. If
Wow.
you're an agency, you want to talk to the person itself, like the brand owner, because you need access to their Shopify account. Yeah, but it's pretty easy. Just set it up. If you have this little thing, get it set up. Trust me, it's easy. But configure Klaviyo properly. The next thing is warming up your list. Test nice. So with warming up your list, there's two things. Testing the segments and the push and pull. So I have a segment in the mirror board where it goes into the whole thing, but pretty much you want to just test different segments. Like you don't really know. It's not like a one specific way, but generally speaking, you want to start with a very small list and then start building it up more and more and more as you just go.
Uh-huh. Th- Does it matter like what type of list that you're using, like a segmented list? Like, do you want to use like the most engaged people in the last 30 days, or like for your
Just
first time, or what?
so like think about so you want to start really small. Like I wouldn't suggest going more than like 500 people in your first email.
Hmm.
So let's say you go like 250. 250, you make those 250 people the most engaged people
Oh, so those are
because they're going to open your emails, right?
okay.
So, for an example, people who just subscribe to email marketing, who have, if you're just starting out with email marketing, you don't have data on like if they open an email. But the best thing is if they made a purchase, if they just subscribed, those are really good indicators, right?
Mm,
After that point, you want to go to maybe open a little more. Then you're going to start people opening your email. So you could say, those two segments that I just gave you, plus anybody that's opened the email in the last 5 days. And you start opening it up, opening it up, opening it up. And then the way you do it is you extend the time period. So instead of open the email last 2 days, 10 days, 20 days, 50 days, 90 days.
okay.
And then that's pretty much it. Now it's a push and pull because there's going to be a point where you're going to open it up a little too much and you're going to see your open rate just drop. So you want to kind of we'll tighten the list a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
But after that point, just start doing it.
Yeah.
Just push and pull.
And how do you know like how much you want to ramp up by? Like, do you want to do it by 200s, like two,
Usually
400?
2x.
2x? Oh, 2x. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
2x. But that's it. And then the last one, engagement. So there's two main parts to the engagement, right? And why does this matter for deliverability? If people aren't opening their emails, people like if people aren't opening your emails, the open rate's gonna tank. And if your open rate tanks in the eyes of Google, Yahoo, all these ESPs, I believe it's ESP,
Yeah.
spam. They're gonna mark you spam.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you get them engaged? You do two things: quality. Make sure you do quality emails, and number two, quantity. If you're doing too many emails, people are going to open up your email, so it doesn't matter what you're sending out. If you're sending a good amount of like 2 to 3 emails a week, if the emails aren't engaging, it doesn't matter how many emails you're sending out. people aren't gonna open them because they know they're trash.
Okay.
Huh?
And Google only cares if people open them. Like they don't really know if people bought from that, just opening, right?
It's pretty
Oh.
much like if they mark it as spam because they could obviously do that. Who cares if
Because they can't reply, right? They can't reply to.
they can and Google likes that.
Yeah, right. But they won't know if it's.
Yeah.
They won't know if it's like yo stop unless they mark you as spam.
I don't believe so. I haven't had that experience, but
Yeah.
I mean if they're gonna do that, they're probably gonna do it as spam. Yeah, mark
Yeah.
it as spam.
Yeah. Depends.
Right.
Depends.
But that being said, you could also do the opposite. Like if you're getting people to engage with your email, like your welcome email, we're testing something new out. We're just doing text-based emails. For text-based emails, at the end of it, we're getting people to respond. So it's like,
Ah.
hey, this is Alex, founder of Ike's Media. You know, welcome. Here's your 10% off. Blah blah blah. And then P.S. Reply VIP to be entered into our VIP list. And a lot of people are gonna be like, oh shoot. Number one, they're gonna be in the VIP list, so they're gonna be more engaged. But number two, you're boosting up the deliverability of it because your Google, Yahoo, all these people are saying, okay, this brand is actually getting engagement. Just like holding.
That's smart. Yeah, I like that.
Open rates, right? So how do you improve open rates? Mainly three things: sender name, subject line, deliverability. So first things first. I'll go with sender name just because the easiest one. It's not that deep, honestly. Just put your brand name. We tested different things out. It's not that crazy. Just put IX Media if we were doing emails. One thing I will say, it's a bit of a trend now. Is you so this is what it would originally look like. Something that we're doing now is adding an emoji and or James.
Yeah, I like that one.
Because think about it, like if I go to Google right now, all the email I'm getting from a promotion tab, they might have an emoji like in their subject line, but in their sender name, almost nobody does that. You know what I mean? So it stands out. So again, standing out and make it personal. How do you make it personal? You do XYZ, founder of XYZ. So Alex Dash or whatever the thing is called. Guys make it, right? Which make it personal. And then especially if you're doing text-based emails, you want to change it up, but definitely.
So you would want to change that up like here and there, like the sender name. Whatever you said. You would want to change the sender name like here and there.
Yeah, if it's like if it's a text-based email coming from the founder, I'm gonna make it James dash Great Balls of Flour. Now, if I was just like a normal email, I might just do Great Balls of Flour and add the emoji. Right. So it just you gotta think a little contextual. Like it's just based on what you're saying. The email is doing.
Yeah.
Next up, you have curiosity and preview text. I'll go through both of them. So if you want to do preview text, honestly, I found the best way to explain is curiosity gap. So I'll just read it. A curiosity gap is a psychological concept and marketing technique that uses the space between a reader already knows, subject line. So this is what they see in the inbox and what they desire to know to entice them to learn more. Right. And then I'll give you an example of what that looks like in a second, but you're pretty much just hyping it up. Right. And I'll give you an example. Then subject line, there's four main things to it. They're in pretty much all the subject lines, I have a frame of thinking of it like, okay, which one of these four aspects are they going to fall into? One is something unusual. So an example of that would be like, it would be like, I'm trying to think something like specific stuff. I actually so for if we were doing like an email campaign for like if we had like a newsletter, which we should have, we'll probably do it soon.
Really?
A newsletter, maybe. I'll be like something unusual, maybe like we tanked this ecom brand's deliverability, and then the whole the whole thing is about how we tanked it, but we made it better.
Yeah, okay.
So it's something unusual. Or it'd be like, I'm selling tacos now. Right? And people are like, wait, is this guy an agency? And then we just say like, yeah, we just partnered up with one of the biggest taco.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine.
So you make it unusual. Familiar, you want to make it familiar. So for example, subject, I'll give you examples, but just make it like, hey, it's Alex XYZ. Hey, it's Christian XYZ. Because most subject lines are just talking about the email itself. But if you say like, hey, Alex, we messed up from James. People are gonna be like, "Oh, it's familiar." It's coming from the founder. Next thing is fear or horrifying. By the way, if you guys have some dookie numbers, 4% of your revenue. But regardless,
you fixed that, right?
Yeah, this was April, May.
Okay, and what did they get to at the end?
34. But we ended it fast. Yeah. But fear or horrifying, so like I messed up, whatever, like just saying like, okay, I actually messed up. If it's we lost your order, you make a play off of that. We lost your order because an abandoned cart series, but we were capturing it like in 10 minutes, whatever. And then sexy attractive for this.
Why are you laughing, bro?
Are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
No, so for sexy attractive, that's just psychology aspect. People are gonna stop if you show them something they're attracted to or sex, right? So why are you laughing, bro?
I'm just kidding. I'm not saying the question, but continue.
No, but yeah. So for example, sexy doesn't even have to be like sexual. It could just be.
Dude, why are you looking
Why
at
you laugh?
Why are you looking at me?
That's
Continue.
wifey right there.
That's your
Bro. That's
wifey?
wifey material.
Hey, that's wifey right there.
That's
That's wifey.
wifey. No, so in their eyes, something attractive would be like 20% off.
Okay.
A discount. Something they want. I'll make it.
I don't know why.
No. Real examples. So here are a few examples. So the top one is a subject line, the next one's a preview text. So subject line, free item with your purchase, redeem now. That's like right. And then it's also a little bit unusual, but it's like generally speaking, right? And then the preview text, free sippy cup or a baby sun hat.
Sorry.
It already gets people like, okay, I'm gonna get this, right? So it's a little bit of like a heads up, like it's enticing them to see what's nice. Right? A subject line, hey, this is going to be the person's name. So if I was saying it to you, hey, Christian, we messed up. My apologies. This is unusual and a bit of a fear horrifying. You're like, okay, what do you mean by that? Well, you lost my order, but then it's also just like fear horrifying. Like, oh shit, wait, you lost my order? Right?
Can you have
Yeah, next one, 3 easy steps to to a cleaner diaper routine. If moms, all they know is like a cleaning diaper routine, to them that's familiar. Okay, so if I'm making a cleaning diaper routine, I do that every day. It sounds familiar. So it gets into the familiar aspect, right?
That makes
And
sense.
then say hello to clean, breathable, and baby safe. What does that mean? I gotta check it out. And then last one, what pediatricians say about diaper rash. I'll put this kind of in the familiar zone, but then also unusual because like, oh, I never heard what a pediatrician has to say about it.
Not fear, like a diaper rash, like
a little bit of fear in it. And then preview text, here's how to prevent it. Gets people inside. Okay, what's the curiosity gap? Okay, here's how to prevent it. They're gonna let me know in the email. Right? So those are a few examples. I'll give 2 more. These are really good subject lines that work really well. Your order is ready. That's unusual, and I don't say fear, but it gets people like, okay, wait, what do you mean my order's ready? So it confuses them a bit.
And they didn't put an order in.
No, this is for an abandoned cart. So it's like, hey, it's ready. We already have it. You're just gonna buy it, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then item number 314930. They're like, okay, shoot, this is actually real. So it gets them to open it. This one, I tested it out. It did really well, and the email performed really well too. This was for, I don't have the email in the mural, but it was pretty much for one of the brands. We were doing like a stats based email, and we were saying like this, we've reached this many numbers, we got this many reviews, all these different things. So I put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 question mark. Here are the numbers 100K. So that's just unusual. Like people if you look at that in an inbox, you're like, what?
Yeah, I don't get that. Yeah, it's how
and click on the email, but then once they click on the email, they're gonna understand it. So it's contextual to the email. Then if it's just random, big thing. If you just make it like clickbait, people are like they're gonna get pissed off. But you make the subject line preview text related to the email itself, it's gonna work.
Yeah, it makes sense. Can you have one email of all 4 of them? Sexy, unfamiliar.
Yeah, I mean for the ChatGPT.
Huh?
But yeah.
You have all 4. That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah. Next up, list health. So here's a perfect example. This brand has 284,000 profiles. When we worked with them, they were probably like a 200 and I'd say maybe like 270, 275. So it wasn't too much more, right? But that being said, they have 284,000 profiles that weren't active, but they had them.
Who was this again?
Great Balls Flower.
Oh wow.
But that's the brand, right? The
bleeper right there. Bleep.
So yeah, 284,000 profiles. The problem was with the brand, they never sent emails out to the whole list. So the guy I spoke to yesterday that we did like an audit for, he had like I think it was like 15,000 profiles, and they will only send 3,000. The problem is if we start working with them, it's not a problem. It's just we have to give them an expectation. Like those, other 13,000, 12,000 profiles that aren't active that you're not sending out emails to, they're probably going to be dead. So that's why it's important for people to do emails because they be like, oh, in my head, if I'm a brand owner, I'm just collecting emails and emails and emails. In my eyes, I know that I have 100,000 people that I can send emails out to. The problem is, if you don't send any emails out to them, you're going to land in their inbox and they're going to be like, who is this brand? I sent them to their emails like 10 months ago. So they're like, who is this? And most of the people, they don't even know about you. They forgot about you, right? So they're like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to unsubscribe. And a lot of those profiles, unfortunately, it's going to go to trash.
Wow.
We're doing something with them, actually. We're trying to open it up because we still have the profiles. So I am doing something with Diego about that, but why go through that?
That's interesting.
So there's 2 ways to clean out your list, right? Number 1, list health. You want to send emails out to them, even if it's once a week, even if it's a trash email. At least send something to them. Don't make it trash, but send some type of email out to them, even if you can once or twice a week. Like just try to do it. You're not even optimizing for sales, but at least you're engaging. So when you do hire an agency or you do hire somebody in house, or you do it yourself, they're good work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you want to do is to clean up the list. Is you want to do it 2 ways. So pretty much, if they have, if you notice that out of 100,000 profiles, 20,000 of them are they're active, as in you have them, you're able to send emails out to, but they're not engaging with them. They're not opening your emails. They're not buying from you. They don't care about your brand.
Okay.
There's two ways to clean that list out. Do you want to do that? Because one, it makes the Klaviyo cost, or I just keep saying Klaviyo because that's what we use for all the brands, but it makes the cost a lot lower because Klaviyo charges the amount of active profiles you have, not how many emails you send out. So a little bit, I don't know if they still do. I haven't checked it in a little bit of time, but last time I checked, they base it definitely on the amount of active profiles you have. So that's reason number one. It makes the cost go down, and number two, it messes up your deliverability because if you keep sending emails out to people who are just not engaging, it just doesn't help you at all. And matter of fact, kind of ruins it because in Google's eyes, like, okay, well, 30% of the people are opening their emails, 40%, but 30% of the people that are getting these emails never open the emails. So it might be a little bit spam. Right? Two ways to fix it. Number one is manually. So you actually create a site right on Klaviyo. The way you do it is you do people who haven't opened, clicked, or purchased any type of open or clicked an email or made a purchase in the last 90 to 120 days. If you want to be a little bit more safe, you could add and has bounced email. So now you definitely know they're not engaged.
Yeah.
But I like to do this because it cleans up the list quite a bit. And then for short time period for less active groups, for brands that are like, if they're just generally not active, you want to shorten the list up a little bit about people because they're like, if you know that they're not active, but they still open it once or twice a month, why kick them out? They're just not as active, but they're still engaging with the brand.
Okay.
Now, for brands that are very active, like your customers are engaging a lot, like they're opening your emails and doing this. If it's typical for your customers to open your emails a lot, the people who aren't opening their emails are more than likely just not going to open them because it's expected for people to open your email. So for people that are not.
Yeah.
And then do this every 3 to 4 months. Just clean out the list, make sure that it's kept pretty healthy. Other way to do it is automatically. So the way you do this is by setting up what's called a sunset flow. Now I'll talk about it later on the video, but a sunset flow is triggered when people haven't opened an email, clicked on an email, or purchased in the last 90 to 120 days, and then that's the trigger that sets off the sunset flow. So if you haven't opened an email in the 120 days, you haven't engaged with the brand, you're gonna get automatically entered into the flow that pretty much saying like I'll go into a little bit more in depth in the full section, but it's just saying like, hey, I know you haven't opened the emails in the last 20 days. Here's the 20% off if you want it, and if they still don't engage, it automatically filters them out.
Wow.
Right. You can make the filter suppress anybody who hasn't engaged after the final message in the sequence. So after they get the very last email in the flow, automatically kicks them out. And then these contacts have lost interest in your content or your brand. These are people who have not engaged with your brand that have their budget.
Okay.
All right. Next up is segments. So just gonna give people the sauce. 39 days is a good place to start off. Pretty good place. Like I wouldn't try to mess it up or anything. But a little bit more of a hack for your segments is number one. Obviously, if your open rate's terrible, you want to fix that. It's pretty important. It's not the end of the world if it's like at 30%, but it's pretty important. Like if you know you could have another twice as many people opening your emails, like it's important. Do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, typically anywhere I would say anything above 40% is a good number. Anything above that, it's worth checking out. Like it is a big constraint. But anything above 40%, usually above 50% is like a good point. But for this brand, we get 65% open rate, 70, 60s, 50s, a little bit of 40. So it just varies like that. But you want to look at your open rate, make sure it's above like that 40% open rate. Next up, this is a bit of an interesting thing. So if you know that, so for example, for Father's Day, I know it's going to be in the middle of the month, give or take. I think it's like on the 18th or whatever. I have to double check. But for Father's Day, I know that I'm going to send that email out to literally everybody in the list, right?
Everyone.
Everyone. Well, because it's a discount. Like, why wouldn't you want to send the discount to everybody? You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So before that, I got to start prepping. So before the Father's Day email comes, I want to boost my deliverability. I want to make sure that people open my emails. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten up my list a little bit more. So instead of sending maybe to 90 people engaged, I'm gonna shorten it to 60. Because instead of getting 50% open rates, I'm gonna get 65, 70. So that it starts warming up the list, not the list, but the deliverability of the account. So that when Father's Day comes, everybody's gonna be opening my emails. Not because it did something crazy, but because Google and Yahoo and all these people are naturally going to put you in the promotions tab or more importantly the inbox tab because they're like, okay, you know what, this brand the last 15 days have been getting a lot of engagement. That means probably not spam. Let's put them in the promotions tab or even better inbox.
Is the promotion tabs like good?
It's not horrible. It's kind of a medium. A lot of brands, unfortunately, are like a lot of the brands we work with are. I'll just be very frank. I haven't cracked the code for inbox. Like that is a mother trucker. Like I've been trying. Yeah. I'm sure there's like a secret sauce. I'm gonna start asking people. That's probably the best way. But
Yeah.
it's not bad. You can still get a lot of people, but it
Mhm.
just helps a lot more from the box.
Yeah. Some of them I think I get in my inbox. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, if you like for brands that are like they have a very short list and you're getting like 80% opens, like Google's like as sure as heck gonna put you in the inbox.
Mm.
Because they understand. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But yeah. So that's that. Next up is optimized for sales. All of this is kind of what I'm getting at. It's important, but at the end of the day, outside of just branding, because that's the obvious thing,
Mhm.
you want to optimize for sales. So you want to make sure you get the most amount of sales. That's the main no. You don't want to like if you're gonna optimize for anything, it might as well be sales. Like if you know you're getting, 30% open rates, and you're making $50,000 per campaign against getting 70% open rate and getting $30,000 per campaign. Over a long run, you still want to balance it out, but overall, you want to make sure that you go for the most revenue, right?
Yeah.
The way you do that is if you go to Klaviyo, you go to campaigns, and you just click this little button. Click it, and it's going to show you the automatic, like the best campaign you send out in the last 30 days, 90 days, whatever the time frame is.
Yeah.
But overall, optimize for sales is pretty important. Next up, a little bit of a case study. So this was for Yanman. For them, they when we signed on, when we pretty much signed them as a client, they never done email marketing before. They didn't believe in it, so we literally had to start from scratch. We had pretty much nothing to go out.
Wow.
So in the beginning, I made the mistake. I didn't even do the where to go. I didn't even configure Klaviyo properly. It still
Wow.
had that, so that was a big part of it. But the main thing is, in the beginning, we were just testing out very small lists. So in this case, we probably sent it to about 400, 420 people because
And how did they have a list if they weren't doing anything with their marketing?
they were still collecting emails.
Their website.
Yeah, they were still collecting them. I think they had a crappy pop form, and then they had a little embed at the bottom.
And should you even do that if you don't like do email marketing?
What?
Should you even do that if you don't even do email marketing? Like
I
collect
mean, why
lists?
not? I mean, you should do email marketing regardless, not even for sales, but just to prep you up so that when you want to take it seriously, you're not shooting yourself in the foot of having a bunch of profiles that are just not active.
Hmm.
Right. So
Okay.
that's the main thing. So in the beginning they had not a huge list, but they had some amount of people
Some more with.
that they collected over the year. But regardless,
You sent it to one recipient?
no, that's so
No, wait,
actually
no, go down, go down. Right there.
I probably sent it myself. But
Oh.
um
I thought
this
random.
so this column is open rates, this click through rates, and this is the amount of revenue we make. So in the beginning, we were setting to about 400 people, 500 people, not that many, and we were getting 10% open rates, 13, 18. But as you can see, as time went on, it started getting a little better, and that was just from testing different sites.
Yeah, 2K? Sheesh.
Yeah.
2K.
Eventually, we're going to get there. But in the beginning, we tested out the people who are most engaged. So people that just literally bought a product in the last 5 days are more likely than not going to open,
Yeah.
And we just tested out segments. There's no secret sauce to it. It's just testing really, really engaged segments and then opening the list the more and more you go. So got 15% open rates, 20, 100. We got 10. And you can see like that in itself is good because 10% of 50, or let me rephrase that. 55 is 10% of 500.
Yeah.
In the beginning, 41 is 10% of 410. So automatically that's an improvement in the open rates. Then you start doing a little bit more and more and more. So just to kind of wrap everything up in this section, we were just trying different segments. Active on site 30 days, new subscribers, open an email in the last 7 days, they purchase within the 60 days, they're repeat buyers. They
Really engaged. Yeah.
Yeah. These are just hyper engaged lists, but it's important to do in the beginning because you have no reputation on surprise. And you get a sale here and there, but it wasn't that great. And we kept on doing it. And here's what I did. So pretty much at this point, I started opening the list more, and we started getting like 40% open rate, 60% open rates, 30 and 36. And that was from literally sending, dozens of campaigns out. Like we sent a lot, right, to get to this point. But the main thing is at that point, I know that we sent it to 451 people and we got a 66% open rate. That's solid.
Yeah.
Another one, we sent it to let's check it out. Open 45 days. This is a glitch, but we sent out a good amount of people. It got 251 people to open it with 33% open rate. This one, 36% open rate, and we sent it out to 255. At this point, I'm like, okay, we're consistently getting people to open the emails. I'm going to expand it. And this is where everything went better. So for people at home, You're gonna have to test it out for a good amount of time. Make sure it's very hyper engaged, people that are engaging with your list. But after you start getting some consistency, I really do suggest just open up the list up by like 5x.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, or 2x or 3. At this point, I wasn't doing it by a good amount. I think I was doing it maybe like 30%, 20%. I was just slowly opening it up.
Yeah.
But once we got a lot of consistency, then at that point I hit it to 2K. To 2K subs. All right. And at that point, we opened the list 2x plus 2,000 subscribers. We opened the list up too. And this one we sent to 3,000 people, and then we got a 22% open rate.
Dang.
It's lower, but notice that we got double the amount of people that opened the email. So we got so many more people to open the email that wouldn't have been sending.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it made 5K. All right. So we did it again. I doubled down on it. Now we did 1,000 people and it got a bit of a better open rate. And then this section right here, it was just, we were starting just to do the same thing. So at this point, I kind of push and pulled. I pushed it a lot and I pulled back a little bit, but I started opening the list up more and more and more and more with the new understanding that people were starting to engage. It started to become a really channel here, and we started making an average order value of $3,000. So now we were making sales. Like back here, we were barely sending to people. We made a sale here and there, but here now we're getting an average of $3,000, $3,000 in average order value, right? And eventually we got to this point here, consistently getting 30 to 50% open rates, and this was just where we started. Like it just looked beautiful. 34%, 32%, 40%, 51%, 56%, and this was thousands of recipients. Started making a lot of money. 6,000, 8,000, 8,000, and at that point, that's when it started growing. So pretty much the key, if you have like a new account, it's mainly just making sure you do a push and pull strategy. Start off with people who are most engaged with the brand, and then over time start opening the list.
Okay. But who do you open it to? Like just people that have engaged like in 90 days or?
You just start people who are less engaged. You want to start opening the list up to, because they're still engaged. There's still people who are subscribed to your emails, but they're a little less engaged. But it's good because now they're.
But what makes them less engaged? Like just buying less?
Yeah, they haven't opened your emails. They haven't clicked on your emails. They haven't bought. They haven't went to your website.
How long?
It just depends. So again, you're gonna start off small. So like in the beginning, you're gonna do people who've engaged in the past 5 days. So open it up, maybe 10 days, 15, 30, 35, 40, 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you start going from there. So
yeah.
So this is with the list. That's pretty much how you build your list, how you manage your list, and then how you grow your list. Any questions on this?
No, yes, it all makes sense.
Good.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Last part, the flows. So, flows. This is the most important part. And I told you, if I'll put it to you like this way: if it's a new brand that's watching this and they don't want to go through the struggle of, hiring an agency, or they don't want to hire somebody in house for one reason or another, it doesn't matter. If you want to at least get, I would say 20% of your overall revenue coming, and an additional 20% of revenue coming in, set up your flows. Because flows only have to be set up once, and after that point, you don't have to set them up again. So, as an example, your welcome flow, your abandonment flow, your post purchase flow, those are emails that are going to be sent out to people, as I mentioned, based on a specific action they've done. So, if I go to the website, I don't have to make an email again. I just have to make the email once, and based on the flow, it's going to get people. Based on a trigger they do, based on an engagement they made with the brand, they're going to be entered into that flow, and they're going to get a series of sequence of emails sent to them based on that action.
Okay.
So, I highly suggest it. Again, typically email marketing brings 40% of revenue. That's a good number to shoot for. Half of that's going to come from your campaigns. Half of that's going to come from flows. That means 20% of your overall revenue should be coming from the flows. That's an easy 20% of revenue that could come in. So that's what it is. Next up. And these are the main flows we do. We have your welcome flow, your site abandonment flow, your browser abandonment flow, and your cart checkout flow, post-purchase flow, win-back flow, and such flow. Pretty easy to do. It's just quite a bit of emails. We're talking 40 to 50 emails. You could do a lot more.
For one brand?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll say this: if it's a brand like Prime, or like it's just a bigger brand, you're gonna want to do more segmentations. Just as an example, like you might want to split it by how much the person made an order value. So in the post purchase flow, instead of making a generic email, but we don't even have a generic, we have a flow, we have a split. But you want to do some more because it's worth it. At this point, if it's a smaller brand and you're under $1 million a month, $100,000 a month is good, man. Like any of like $250,000, that's a good amount of range. It doesn't make sense to bill out so many different emails because the amount of the incremental increase you're going to get is maybe like 5%. Like it's not going to be crazy, but 5% to a brand that's making $1 million was like 50K. So if you're going to make an additional 50K a month, that's like an additional what, like 10 employees, 5 employees. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I'll go right here. So with your welcome email, this is the first email. This is the first flow that people are going to be entered as soon as they enter. As soon as they enter their email. So back on the list, when somebody enters the flow, they're going to get entered into what's called the welcome flow, and they're going to get this sequence of emails. I wanted to mix it up the amount of emails and kind of show different examples, so just not one brand and one welcome flow. But this is generally what the emails look like. First one is a welcome email, which again, when as for replies, I'm testing it out with Diego, making more text-based emails just because of deliverability.
For the welcome
aspect.
flow.
Yeah.
Mm.
But you want to make it pretty simple. If you're going to make a design, it looks like this. Welcome to, in this case, Brothers Nuts. Use your code here. Shop now. One important thing just for conversion value, you want to make sure that the shop now button and the discount code is above the fold. What all that means is people don't have to scroll. So as soon as they open it on their iPhone or laptop, whatever, they don't have to click on the email to scroll on it. All they see is, okay, there's a shop now button. Here's the discount. Just click on it. Make it easy as possible. But you want to have some basic info about the brand. You don't want to fluff it up too much, but you just want to get straight to the point. What the discount is, a shop now button, and maybe some of their best sellers. Pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is the brand history, and you just talk about either the founder, how the brand was started. Especially, it's a welcome flow, so contextually, they don't know anything about your brand. They probably just came off, from an ad or social media, so they want to get more information. Here's a perfect time to do it, right? Hey, in this case, I'm Will. In your case, you could be like, hey, this is Alex. Hey, this is Christian. Hey, this is Diego. Talking more about the brand, why you started it, all these.
Okay.
Next up is you want to do a number one bestseller USP. In my case, I'll say
That
this
was
one.
nice.
Yeah, this one was a campaign that we launched for Melati. What we like to do is, and I know a lot of agencies and brands do this, but in case you don't know, base your flows off the best performing campaigns you send out.
Wow.
So for this one, if we're gonna probably rebuild Melati's flows, like all of them, plus 40 emails. I'm probably gonna use the exact same template because I know it performs very well.
Yeah.
Right? I might change it up contextually because it may be for the flow, but I'm gonna choose the best performing campaigns. And on top of that, I already know based on because I'm sending thousands and thousands of emails out, a month, right? So it's not hard.
Yeah. Just use what's working.
Yeah. Next up, reminder of the discount. You're just gonna remind them, hey, here's your discount. Last chance or whatever. I want to say last chance is not, but reminder of the discount. Next up is a customer story and testimonial. Want to tell them about a few testimonials about the brand, what it's made of. Hey, here's more information about the brand. Here's what people said about us. Next up is why we're different. Simply say it's kind of like an us versus them. Good example. It's like, hey, this is why we're different. We have less sugar. We have made all the natural ingredients. We partner with the best suppliers. We donate to farmers. Whatever it is. Another last chance reminder of the discount code. And then what we like to do is at the very end of the flow, make a very personal text-based email from the founder saying, hey, this is Alex from Max Media. I just wanted to make sure that everything is okay. You haven't purchased. Your discount code is about to expire in the next 20 minutes, 45 minutes, whenever it is, maybe like an hour or two. If you have any questions, please let me know. I saved your discount code for an additional 20 minutes. Please buy if you want.
Okay. So you only get there's only one email in the one welcome flow, right? Like usually, right? Or no?
No. So what's your question?
So is there only going to be one welcome flow, like email, or usually? So like if someone like signs in, if someone like signs in, they're only going to get this one email, right? Like usually or what?
In the beginning.
In the beginning, right? So which is going to be like the best template for someone to use then? Like brand history, like should they talk about the bestseller?
Well, so we do it in a chronological sequence, right? So the first email, you're not even going to talk about the brand. You're not, maybe a little bit, but you're not going to give them like why you're different in the biggest ways. All you're going to tell them is the discount code, shop now button, and a bestseller. It's right to the point.
The welcome flow, that's well.
For the first email. The second email, they're going to get after 2 to 3 days. Right, and then there you could talk more about the founder, why they made the company, and then that's a chrono. So maybe I should have put in here 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. But every like 2 to 3 days, you're gonna send another email.
So that's the chronological order of the welcome flow. Ah, got it.
And in a total welcome flow, there's about 8 different emails.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So this may take 2-ish weeks to send out. Next up is your site abandonment flow. This one's pretty simple. I only do one. The reason I only do one is I don't want to piss people off. For context. I'll kind of go into each different one right now, but the way it works is so I'll give it to you like this. So these 4 flows, or these technically 4, but for these 3 flows that you see right here, they're abandonment flows. So here's the order of how a person makes the customer's grade. They go to your website. They just go on the website. Doesn't mean they bought. Doesn't mean they clicked on a product. Nothing. They just go on the website. If they leave the website, that means they're going to be entered into the abandoned site flow. Now, the reason we only have one email is because they did something of very low value. They literally just went on the website. They didn't show interest by going to the product page. They didn't add something in a cart. They didn't go to something to check out. So in my eyes, and from when we tested out, it's pretty much just like, okay, this person just went on the website. I don't want to annoy them with a million different emails over the course of like 2 weeks. So it's just one email. If they go on the site and then they go to a specific product, then I'm gonna beef it up with 5 emails. So this is one email. Abandoned site. They just go on the website. They don't click on the product. They don't do anything. Abandoned browse. We're gonna do 5 emails because at this point they clicked on a product and they left.
Yeah, they're somewhat interested. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. And then for this one, we'll do 5. We'll do a reminder that looks like this. Really simple. You can maybe add a testimonial, but it's just like, hey, thinking about finalizing your purchase in Klaviyo or whatever platform people are using. It's gonna show the product there. It's a bit of syntax, not syntax, a bit of backend development here, but it just shows them the reminder. Next up is brand info and risk reversals, right? You want to show them, okay, this is the brand, this is the brand, this is what they're doing. Want to make sure that's good. So you just talk about the brand, right? Give them more information, why you guys are different. Gets people to go, oh, okay. Testimonials, simply talking about testimonial, something just like a little bit of a cheat code to pick the testimonial that answers the most common objection. So if you sell, give me something around.
Chocolate. Drink. Alcohol.
So let's say you sell condoms, right? If you're selling condoms, you want to make sure that they don't break. So the testimony would be like, all right, I was very skeptical. Last time that's how I got my first kid. I got a chick pregnant. Use a condom like, this brand like 10 different times. I'm a player. I'm a gangster.
Oh, really?
And it never broke. That's bust. But it answers the most common objection. If it was chocolate, if it's low calorie, okay, is this really healthy for me? If it's like a family brand and they give that chocolate to their kids, is this safe for my kids? That if I know that that's the most common objection, I'm gonna state it in the testimony.
That makes sense. I like that.
Next one is a reminder of the discount. If you want to give them a discount, that's why we have the discount opener. It's optional for the brand. I would say yes, especially if you could segment it differently. But if you're gonna do it for new customers, I do suggest it just to get them to buy it once at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, discount opener and then discount closer. I will make this a text-based email, which is pretty much like, hey, I know you went on the site. We want to let you know. We make sure that we noticed that you bought the product from us in the past if they're an old customer or if they're a new customer. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I noticed you were on the site yesterday and you were checking out XYZ product. We let you know, we wanted to give you like a 5% discount code. It technically expired yesterday, but we wanted to extend it for one more day. Feel free to use it if you want.
Okay.
From that point.
Yeah. This may be a little off tangent, but like, are you able to see where they browse? Like what items specifically, or
you can. It's on Shopify.
Really?
Yeah, I remember way before we did email marketing. When I was with Nexus, I remember I freaked out because like I was able to see people's like what they would do.
I remember, yeah.
We tested it out. It was like when we worked with the first brand I ever worked with in my life. I was doing ads for them, but he gave me extra Shopify account, and there was like an app that like you could literally see what the person's doing.
Yeah,
that's pretty freaky. But
and do you think that matters to make it that specific? Like, yo, I seen that you were looking at this, and here's a discount for that specific product.
Yeah,
that's what. Okay.
Yeah, so you could split it in Klaviyo within the flow. You could say, if you have, let's just say, drinks,
condoms,
condoms, and then you have food, right? For the drinks, I might spend it. Okay, this for people that this flow is gonna be specific. Again, I'm gonna try to state because this is kind of important. This is kind of where I was telling you about. If you're a bigger brand, it makes sense to do it. So one email like this is 5 different emails, right? If I'm a bigger brand and I want to make sure that I want to optimize the most out of it, I'm gonna do this exact flow 3 different times for the exact emails. Because if I know I sell drinks, I know I sell condoms, and I know I sell food, if I'm selling drinks and I go to the website and I only look at the drinks, I'm going to make a flow specific to just the drinks. If I look at the condoms, I'm going to make it all about sex. If I'm... Condoms, right?
There you go.
If I make it about... if I go to the last one and I make it about food, I'm going to make all about food. Right? Because people are fatties these days.
Yeah, and sexual.
And sexual. And gluttony. Where's the dog? By the way, I want to see a husky. I want to see Oreo. Anyways.
Oh, he's changed.
But yeah, no, it's important. So
That-
again, the
that's
main
cool.
thing is if you're a bigger brand, it makes sense. You see how much more work it is. You're literally gonna have to like triple the amount of
Yeah.
emails you're gonna make. But if you're a big brand, it is worth it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
But do you have like their consent of customers? Like, just is that like a thing of privacy or like?
Yeah, some brands have like a little disclaimer at the bottom of the email. We never do it just because it becomes automated, like it's assumed in the email. Now that's when
What to the website? Because can you just check what they're doing and stuff?
I
Like,
mean,
I don't think that's that crazy, right? Like invasion of privacy. Like if you know what they're browsing on. Like, what if some customers
no,
care?
no, no,
They
no.
won't care.
Like no, if people do, they could obviously just opt out. But
Yeah.
I've never gotten like I've never seen that.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
um, but yeah, that's the point.
Mhm.
So they go on your website. They check out a bunch of different products out. What are they going to do after this point? Okay, they're going to go to cart. Okay, I check the website. I like this product. I'm going to add it to my cart.
Mm.
After I add it to my cart, I'm going to be entered into an abandoned cart series. Now, I'll say this. Abandoned cart and abandoned checkout are the exact same emails. So if you look at this one, I'm literally, if I'm going to make an abandoned cart and checkout, I'll make the abandoned cart. The only thing you have to change is the trigger. But these emails are going to look the exact same. The only thing I'm going to change between cart and checkout is just the trigger. Everything else is going to be the same. So the emails are going to look the same. The text, the copy, everything. The only thing is the trigger.
Okay.
So that's why I put in the middle, like they're the same type of thing. And that's why I put them together. But they are two different flows because again, if you go to cart and you're going to checkout, that means you're one level or one step before the bind drink. Like you haven't gone the full way. Now, if you want to check out, that means you're on fire. You're about to check out. You really wanted the product, but it's two different flows,
Mm.
right? So that's why it's important, right? Some people make a cart and they go to checkout. Some people make a checkout and cart, so it's two different types of scenarios,
Okay.
right? I'll quickly go through it. Number one is a brief reminder of the product. Hey, your cart's expiring soon, but we save your item. Next one, a nudge from the founder. You're gonna see that we do a lot of founder-based emails because it feels personalized, and I made the whole YouTube video about it last week. Personalization, it kills for people. It's in a good way, especially if it's text-based email because it feels really personalized. For this one, I would just say like, hey, I noticed you left your cart yesterday. Just want to let you know we saved it. You could buy it, here on the
Yeah.
phone. Buy app.
So this gives them like the next edge. So like
Yeah.
buy. Okay.
Next one, a USP and urgency call, unique selling proposition, and a what do you call it, an urgency call, which is pretty much looking like this. Let me zoom into it. Hey, your card is about to expire. That's an urgency play. And you can maybe talk about USP. So in this, I talk about how we're top-notch quality, we nourish the mind and body, 100% pure tallow. If it's like a food, or if it's condom brand, you could say 100% guarantee you're not going to get a chick pregnant.
Fire.
You're not going to get STDs. You're not going to get AIDS.
Yeah.
All three guaranteed. So that's that. Next up is it's a quick little reminder, right? It's a testimonials based email. So pretty much on the fourth one, you're talking more about the testimonials. Hey, forgot something. Here's the thing. And then again, this is where the splitting it up into different segments. That's like, wait, if you want to split up the flow into based on a specific thing they've done, like if they went on food, you're gonna make the testimonials about food. They want drinks, they're gonna make the testimonials about drinks.
Okay.
So that's what it is, right? Last chance, you want to make sure that, hey, your cart's expiring in 45 minutes. Last chance type of thing. This does really well. And then here's where I like to split it up, even if it's a newer brand, split it between old and new customers. If it's an old customer, you're not gonna go. It's everything's optional. Do what you want, but we suggest not doing it to not giving a discount away because at that point you're consciously making them think every time I want to buy a product, if I want to get a 20% discount, all you have to do is just wait 2 weeks and I'll get a 20% discount. So that's why I like to do it for old customers, for people who have bought it in the past. But for new customers, it makes sense to give them a discount because you want to get them in that product, especially if you know your product is just fire and just fuego. You want to let them know, hey, here's what it tastes like. Just get it in their hands. So here's how it splits up. After the last chance email, if they are a old customer, which they purchased in the past, all you're gonna make it be is just you could change it over time, but pretty much what it is like just this. Hey, Christian, I know you added this product to your cart and to checkout. Depends on what it is. Just want to let you know. I want to thank you for buying in the past. I'm really excited for you to try in the future. You're a very loyal customer, and I just want to give you a personal note. If you have any questions that we didn't answer when the first time you bought, feel free to let me know and we'll answer. Most of the time, they're not even going to text you. They're not going to answer you back. Just them knowing that you're willing to do that, they're going to buy. More than likely, gonna buy. Right? Now, if it's a new customer, you want to give them 2 more emails. 20% discount. Okay, here's your opener, and then a closer. 20% discount all closer. So After this email, they're not going to get this one. They're going to skip to this one if they're a new customer or they haven't bought from you guys before. And if you want to give them 5% discount, 10% discount, here it is. They can buy. And on top of that, elevator, in this case, an example, you give them an urgency play. So I will change the copy. This is not an original cart abandonment email, but you could just say, hey, get 15% off, last chance. People could buy. Now, if they still don't buy, you could just make it the exact same as the old one, but just as the old customer email people are going to get, the text-based email, but just make it for new customers. So change the wording up instead of, I know purchase in the past, be like, hey, in case we didn't answer any question the last couple of emails we sent out or in the website, please let me know. We have over 10,000 customers, we're non-GMO, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You could buy now.
Mm-hmm.
And I take your discount code if you want.
Mm.
But that's what the abandonment flow is. So that's abandoned checkout flow. This crushes this probably things like, I mean, the welcome flow is the number one for sure. But for people that are just starting out and they don't have the resources to do so many flows, I would suggest welcome series. Don't do site, don't do browse. Do cart and checkout abandonment because a lot of people are going to go through that and they're already engaging with the brand, so just the conversion rate is going to be a lot higher. And a post purchase, just because you want people to feel good. And that's cart checkout. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Next up was purchase. They made a purchase. Muy bueno. They made a purchase. Excited. You good?
Yeah. Felt weird, but
and yeah, they purchased. So what are you gonna do now? You're gonna let them go forever? Or you want to entice them a little bit with the brand? Let them know that hey, we're here. It's okay. I take care of it.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, bro.
No. So there's 3 emails. Pretty simple. Number 1. Why are you looking like that? No. All right.
I'm
So
saying.
there's 3 emails, right? The first one is a thank you from the founder and an upsell. This, you could ignore it. This is a random text-based email. But pretty much you're just saying, hey, thank you so much for purchasing. I want to make sure that you're set up to go. You're going to expect to use the product for this, and this reason. If you have any questions, please let me know. We're here for you. Thank you again for supporting our community. 5% of your order is going to go to dogs in Mexico, for example, whatever. And you can add an upsell. P.S. These are my favorite flavors and these are my favorite products. If you want us to add this to your order before we ship it out, let us know.
Oh.
Next up is a follow us on social media. For this one, this is my personal thing, just going outside of email marketing, you want to be omnipresent. So you want to make sure that they follow you not only in email marketing, but they get your ads, they follow you on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram. So you want to drive that traffic for people that have already bought to your social, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 little emails. You get to let them know like, hey, this is an email we made for Great Balls of Flour. For them, we just let them know, hey, I know you just made the purchase, blah, blah. Here's a little boost or a little, I don't say urgent, what's the word I'm looking for? Here's a little reminder that our social media is active. If you want to check it out, here's our Instagram, here's our Facebook, here's our LinkedIn, and you just get them to go there. But videos perform very well. So that's all I'm going to say.
Really?
So people click on it, they get direct to Instagram, and they follow you there. Again, not worried about the purchasing because you already made a purchase, but get the point.
Yeah,
So just right onto the social media. And then lastly, this is a really good example of what it looks like. This is what drinking, in this case, Milati feels like. You can get them hyped up for the product so they don't have remorse. They're not sad that they bought the product. They're actually excited to do it. And it's just a good relationship with their brand. So you just let them know what they can expect. You can make this about what they're going to get in the product. So the ingredients, or if it's a bundle, what the bundle consists of. Or if you just want to tell them about like, okay, here's what you're going to feel. Here's what you're going to get in the actual product. Here you go. So for this one, we said first thing you're gonna do is the smell. The second thing is the taste, and the third thing is the zero guilt feeling from Milati because you're a non-alcoholic beverage. But that's your post purchase. A win back flow is people who have purchased in the past, okay, but have not purchased in over like 90 days.
90 days.
Especially if you're like a supplement brand, if you're something repeatable, if you know people that are loyal with their loyal customers to your brand purchase every 45 days and it's already been like 3 months, it may make sense to send them a win back flow.
And what's the difference between a win back flow and a sunset?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
So win back is people who have already bought from you. You want them to come back again.
Okay.
Pretty much people who bought from you.
Uh-huh.
So an email looks like this. Hey, is it time for a pizza reunion? We know that you bought a product 5 months ago, 3 months ago. You just want to make sure that you stock up your shelves again. Next up is your sunset. And then this one, it's only 1 email.
Oh wow, just 1.
Yeah. We've tried it out. I personally have gotten many results, but I got 2 or 3 emails. Just 1 does really well.
Yeah.
No, sunset flow. I am going to beef it up a little bit. I'll tell you why. So 3 emails. Number 1, it's been a while. So it just looks like this. Hey, I know it's been a while. Are we gonna say goodbye? Engage with their emails. So this is just calling out like, hey, You haven't opened our emails. You haven't engaged. So not unless they haven't purchased, they haven't even opened your emails. If they didn't open this one, they're gonna get the next one. Or if they hadn't bought from this one, they're gonna get the next one. It's time for a pizza reunion. Same as the other one, but I'll maybe add a discount. Right? Because like, hey, I know you haven't purchased in a while. I know you haven't opened our emails in a while. And then also you can use it in the subject line because maybe your subject lines are just trash. So if you had like $5 off, people are gonna open it. And if they open it, they honestly they're out of their flow, but they're gonna be engaged with your emails again.
Okay.
If they haven't engaged with like 6 months, you get them to open their emails, at least they know about you. And if you still haven't purchased, I'll make a text-based email. This is a bit of a cheeky one that we did, but pretty much you're just telling them like, hey, I know you haven't engaged with the email in the last, in a very lighthearted way. I know you haven't engaged with the emails in the last 3 months. Is this really going to buy? We're going to get you off the list in the next, if you don't open the email, if you don't respond back to this email, you don't have to. If they open the email, you're chilling. But you want to let them know, we're going to get you off the list. If you want to buy, feel free to buy. If this person, if a person has gone through this entire flow and they still haven't opened an email, that's what I was telling you about the list, automatically kicks them off.
Yeah, you shouldn't even try again. Just it's over.
Yeah, because you're giving them a discount. And one thing, I would make this discount pretty freaking hefty. I'm talking like 25, like a good amount of percentage because you're gonna lose them either way. Might as well get them.
Try to get them.
Try to get them. And yeah, just get engaged with them.
Yeah, makes sense, man.
So I go to one more thing: expectations. I don't even talk about this one.
What's that? What's that though?
Expectations.
Wait, what are the expectations? I'm kind of curious now.
I was gonna make this in the other one, but like, yeah, this is important. So for brands that are just starting email marketing, you got to understand 3 different things, and I'll tell you what this is. Number 1, don't compare to ads. It is not advertising. I'll dig into that in a second. Give it 2 to 3 months minimum. I would shoot for 1 month, right, to get at least like 10%, 20% of your revenue from there. But give it 2 to 3 months.
Depending where they are.
Yeah, and especially if you've never done email marketing before or very little, give it 2 to 3 months. And lastly, don't be wishy-washy. Go full force.
What do you mean by that? Like, just
I'll give you a story. So, remember?
Yeah.
All right. So this dude, great guy. Obviously, I hope he kills it with his brand, whatever. No harsh feeling. But basically, we start working together, and first of all, I'll talk about the first topic, which is don't be wishy-washy. If you're gonna do it by yourself, do whatever you want. But if you're holding somebody else accountable for the result that they're trying to get you, and on top of that, you're not helping them at all, you can't blame them for not getting good results if you're not giving them what they need. So we started working with a brand. We asked them for brand assets, logos, colors, fonts, access to Klaviyo. 1 month later, we got the thing. So it took a month to get all that stuff. So we couldn't even do anything. So that's number 1. Like, if you're going to do it, especially talking about 40% of revenue, like, it's a no-brainer. Like, give it all you got, right? But yeah, go in full force. Give them, if you're getting someone to do it, give them what they need. Make sure they're set up the right way. Help them be proactive in it. But don't be wishy-washy.
Okay.
Second thing, don't compare it to ads. When we started working with this guy, after like 30 days, after he signed the contract, 30 days later, we start working with them. We get everything set up. We start working with them. 30 days later, we finally got a strong. Now, in his mind, they're like, okay, I signed the contract 30 days ago. I should really be getting good results. Didn't even give us the brand assets. We didn't even go into Klaviyo.
You kept reminding him like, "Yo, we need these brand assets." That's crazy. And what was he saying? Just in a bit or what?
He just ghosted and whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he got back. Oh, I'm back from vacation. Let's do it. Well, okay, whatever. So when we started doing it, it was honestly, this is probably one of the worst stories I have because I genuinely knew if he kept going with email marketing, he could have gotten 40% of it. Like, I genuinely knew. So what we started doing is the same thing. We cannot send out to, he had I think he had like 30,000 people in this. We couldn't send out to 30,000 people in one shot because or else you're trashed, right? It's going to take forever to get your deliverability.
When we talk about it.
So we had to warm it up. So in the beginning, 100 recipients, 200 recipients, 500. Okay, we had to lower it, push them cool.
And they're most engaged as well.
Exactly. Okay. So we started doing more and more. Got to a point after about 3 weeks where we started getting to, I think it was like maybe 2,000, 3,000 people. And we started making sales. A few $100s. Here, a few $100. In this campaign, a few $100. In this campaign.
Yeah.
All right, great. On the 4th week, after the first month is over, this is where I want to make it very clear you can't compare it to Facebook ads. He put in, granted, that's the good thing he did about it. After the 30 days, he paid for Klaviyo because you need to pay for Klaviyo. I think it was about $800 at the time for 30,000 profiles.
Wow.
Put $800 in. And at the end of it, I think we got him like $1,000,
Mm.
which isn't a lot. Granted, it isn't a lot. But for context, this was 30 days into it after a month. So I'm not blaming anything like this. Like I'm not like, anything. Obviously we could do it as good as we can.
Yeah.
But like you got to give it a little bit of time. It's a brand new account. You've never sent out emails before. If you try to do it too fast, you're gonna tank your deliverability. So we need like 2 to 3 months. Right?
And that's something he didn't understand, or
I told him.
okay.
All right. If I didn't tell you, bro, my bad. What's the name? But
Now they know.
now they know.
Mm.
So took about a month. We got him $1,000. So about like 0.10, like what was it, like 10%, 20% return on ad spend. It's not good, but again, you can't compare it to Facebook ads. And I'll say this again with email marketing, you don't have to put any money in. So like for people that compare it to like, okay, the first month I put $800 because I have this many profiles, and I only got $1,000 back. This is strategy is not going to work. Don't think of it that way. Think about it like I am building a list that's going to take time to actually get to full throttle. And when it's going pretty much crazy, if the brand was making $4,000, $10,000, $20,000 from email marketing, and they only had to put $800 in, it's obviously worth it. But you can't expect it from the beginning. So don't compare it to Facebook ads. That's why he got all pissed off, because he was like, I was comparing Facebook. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Last thing, you have to give it some time. I cannot stress this enough because it's unfortunate. I see a lot of brands that they don't want to do email marketing because they want the quick money, number one, and number two, they don't think it works because they don't have somebody professional doing it. That's not even a plug. Like you genuinely need somebody, like again, going full force. You need somebody that's in the account every day.
Which is so weird that business owners
Yeah.
can't wait, but
And
you're saying
it's tough. Anyways, you need to wait 2 to 3 months if it's a brand new account. If they're a brand new account, give it like 2 months at least. The first month is just about getting your deliverability up. The second month is finally just about actually pushing the product. Then you finally get to understand. After the second or third month, it's still not getting results, and you kick the can down the road, like whatever, you're fired. That's gone. But if you don't give them at least 2 to 3 months to get results for you, then obviously you're making a bad decision. So expectations, number one, don't be wishy-washy. Go in full force. If you're having somebody work for you, give them what they need. Give them the Clave account. Give them your brand assets. Helpful. Number two, wait 2 to 3 months, especially if it's a new account. Now, if it's already an account that is already getting results, like it's just maybe getting 10% of revenue, they should be getting good results in 1 month. Like, just to be very clear, 1 to 2 months. Like, it shouldn't take too long. But if it's a brand new account, give it 2 to 3 months. Thirdly, do not compare it to Facebook ads. If you only make $1,000 and you put 800 because the cost of Klaviyo for 30,000 profiles, and you say this is not going to work because I only made $1,000 on, you don't have enough depth of vision. You have to wait 2 to 3 months just because you have to understand. In the beginning, that person might have been sending to 10% of your list, which is a valid reason. They were trying to warm it up. In the second month, they might have opened up to 80% of the list. That would have been an 8x increase in revenue. And instead of 1,000, made 8,000. That 10x your ROAS.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that is my 2 cents on email marketing with expectations. And that's what it is.
Okay.
Any preguntas?
Yeah, I mean, like, what would be one thing if someone does, it would just they would fail female marketing. One thing that they do.
Great question. I would say the most common thing that people do is that they have bad email designs. I was telling him dude yesterday. I was giving him an audience. He was going crazy about his emails. He was like, "Bro, these emails are fuego, they're awesome." And I took a look at that. I'm like, "Dang, they are dubiously not fuego." No, but they were just average looking, and yeah. But you send out content that people will actually want. Don't just. Okay, I'll answer it like this in two parts. Number one, I'll answer it in two parts. Number one, make sure that the emails you send out actually look good. If they look like crap, you could still make sales. You could still get them engaged, but make sure you have a good designer, a good team managing it. But number two, make sure that the emails you're sending out are not just promotions. Because if you only send promotional emails, you're holding yourself out, whoring yourself out. You're making your brand a whore, right? Like all you're doing is you're putting your body at but you're
so much detail.
You're just every email that you send out, you're being very needy. You're just like every single email, give a discount, give a discount, give a discount. They're not gonna respect your brand unless you give the person value with value taking content and just giving them value and just showing them new ways to do things and putting the product in a very organic way that is the answer to these problems that you're answering. It's gonna work out.
Okay.
But make sure it's valid. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Great run through.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Peace.